Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the Fat Guy Flies RC studio. And yes, this is the E-FLITE Airbus 320 Neo. I had originally thought about not getting this. I wasn't going to get it until here recently I went on vacation and got sick. I'm still sick, but anyways, flew on what I thought was this plane. Turned out to be a Airbus A320, which is very, very similar. But while I was on vacation, I said, I really like that plane. I flew on it. Now I want one. So I thought that was it. Well, anyways, that's how I got it. That was my decision to buy this after all said and done. I haven't bought a E-FLITE bind-and-fly plane in a long time. The cost of this plane is $619, and me as a RC plane reviewer, my cost was $619, the same as you. So I wanted the plane, and so let's unbox it and put it together. Now there's all kinds of information, and everything will be in the description as far as all the specs and everything, but it's a twin 64, runs on a 5S or a 6S LiPo. So this is the bind and fly. Well, you know what, they got a piece of tape right there on that one. Okay. All right. Well, these kind of boxes, to get them out easier, undo both ends and push out. It makes your life much easier. But as you can see, it is not a small box by any stretch of the imagination. Not a small foam coffin at all. And excuse my incessant sniffling and that right there. Okay, nothing. Okay, there is stuff on that bottom there. So this is obviously the bottom of the coffin. Let's go ahead and undo this stuff here. Got a nice fresh blade. Uh-oh, I'm dropping stuff. Everything, of course, you know, they double check and double wrap, and which is good. Nice manual. Let me pick up the vertical stabilizer. Well, we can unbox that already. Nice ball link already hooked up, and this is painted. It is a foam hinge, but looks to be some laminate in there maybe. But Horizon makes a quality foam hinge. I'm not worried about it. But still, after, you know, so many flights, start keeping an eye on your foam hinges. The sharklets are the end of the wings. These would help with the fuel economy on the actual plane. I'm going to assume would translate to helping with the economy with the model also. So the side that has the manuals, the side that has your sharklets, wingtips, and your horizontal stabilizers. What I like, the other thing is you can easily unscrew this and service that servo if you needed to. Probably won't need to, but if you needed to. Alrighty. Oh, there is, well, no, maybe not. Okay, yeah, everything's, okay, that's what it is. There is in here in layers. So you got to undo, okay. It's like pieces of a puzzle here. Pieces of a puzzle. Sorry if I'm... All right. Sorry, I got my head in your way there. Man, they don't want you getting in this thing. They don't want you getting in it. But it's a, you know, they got to protect the investment here. All right, lay that down there. Lay that down there on the floor. All right, and what we have here, here's all your bolts, all your bits and bobs. Okay. One of the wings here. Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Wheels are hard. That's okay. All right. The other wing out. There again, everything is serviceable. That's very good. That is very good. Very, very good. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. And last, before you go to the second layer down, is your vertical stabilizer, otherwise known as rudder. That's all there is to that. Very bright sticker. And this is painted, all the foam is painted white. There is no, it's sticker and painted, there's no bare foam anywhere. Always take a look at all your cracks and crevices everywhere. Keep up with your debris. Okay. Nothing down in there, nothing here, nothing in here. Okay. We go on to section 2 here. You gotta, I tell you what, someone went crazy with the foam, the tape dispenser. Yep, somebody went crazy with the tape dispenser. Whoa. All right. All right, down here on this end, you have your 2 engine nacelles. All plastic here. Looks like 4 bolts and then 1 bolt from the inside and 4 bolts on the outside. One simple quick connect that you can't get wrong. Look for damage. This is very sturdy. This is not like flimsy or anything. Very, very sturdy, very thick foam. Like I said, it's all plastic there. Sounds very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, keep that up there. Get our back half of our fuselage. All right. Whoa, don't drop it. Lots of room inside of there. Got your wing spar being stored there. Everything's labeled and secured. Now that horizontal just secures right in place, just pops in place. Got a vent hole with a couple of LEDs. The plane's bunghole. Okay. Not as big as the AL37, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be. Okay, this wing spar here, I don't know. That's supposed to be the, or that structure. Is that structure of the plane? I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. All right, now the hatch is off. I'm sure that's for a reason. Okay. Make sure there's nothing underneath there. Yeah, your wing spars looks like they're stored inside. These are your wing spars here. Okay. As I said, this is the bind and fly version. So it's got the AR637TA telemetry. Got an IC5 connector. Very nice looking. Everything's labeled. You're not going to have any issue. Stickers are nice and strong. This is what I was worried about. Okay, it's got a nice hard plastic nose, so when I store the fuselage in the corner, it'll stand on that. And look right there, those three fins, they are your plug-in antennas at the different spots. And that's where you store them at. All right, and that's why the hatch is off now. All right. All right, well, let me get all my foam put together, put away, look at whatever tools we need, and we'll come back and put this bad boy together. All righty, we are back. Now, you're going to start off with connecting your two pieces of your fuselage together. And for the entire build, you're going to need a 2mm hex drive, a 2.5mm hex drive, and a 1.5mm hex drive. So go ahead and have them handy. Okay. You're going to take the back half of the fuselage, which will be this half here. Now, that wing spar that I mentioned in the UNBOX, that is for the main wing. Set that aside. Okay. See them three holes here, 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 and here? All right. That's what you need to pay attention to right now. Okay. You're going to take two. You got these two carbon fiber rods. They're the exact same length. Okay. You're going to slide them in here. They have a obvious stopping point. Okay. Then you're going to take the short, fat one. I think that's right. Yeah, the short one. And it's going to go right here. Okay. All right. Now, you're going to need 3 of these screws here. Now, these are these big thumb screws. You have these little springs in here. Okay. Looks like you have 4 springs. Save them for the wings. Use these bare ones, in my opinion, for the fuselage. But you're going to need 3 of these thumb screws for that. All right, and this is where you're going to need, this is where I would use, you can do it by your finger strength, but I'm going to use a 2.5 hex drive just to make things easier. Okay, I'm going to have them handy. Okay, there's a point here, here, and here where they're going to attach. I think that's right. All right. Take the front half of your fuselage. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because the one thumb screw is going to go in from the other side and screw in that metal, where that metal housing is right there. That's where that's going to go in. All right. See how these are going to fit together? I mean, it's kind of obvious. Okay. Just guide them in there. It may be a little tight at first, but that's okay. Not a thing in the world wrong with that. Then that bottom, we'll guide that right on in there. I have to rock it back and forth a little bit. It should just slide right in there. Okay. Yeah, let's... What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and get it going. Get it going on both sides. There we go. Yeah, slide that bottom one out and kind of piece it together on both sides. All right. Now you've got a nice one-piece fuselage. Now, looky here. You've got your 1, 2, 3 points to connection. I want to take that 2.5. Okay. I want to take my hand up in here long ways, and I'm going to drop the screw in there. Okay. But see that right up in there? That channel right there? That's where that's going to go. Okay, so I'll put that down in there like that. I feel it getting bite. See where it's at now? It's that red. All right. Now I'm going to take that 2.5. I'm going to fish that into the end. Maybe. So I'm doing this blind. There we go. And I'm just tightening that up a little bit. All right. That is now in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take these other two and a point there and a point over here where that's going to drop in. Try this side first. Okay. Now you kind of get it, fish it down in there, and then you get it going. Okay, nice and tight. Don't over tighten it. You don't want to crack anything. All three of them are installed, and that fuselage is together. All right, now let's turn our attention to the rear of the plane. Now, the elevator halves already have their wing spar joined. Okay, now you can see there's no screwing involved here. Okay, dig out your elevator connection. Okay, remember what I say, what I've told you all many times about polarity. If you don't hook it up right, it's not going to work, and you're going to think, well, stupid model. Remember, no matter what the kind of servo it is, light to light, dark to dark. That's always the way it goes. Light to light, dark to dark. Okay? Whether it's a white wire or a yellow wire, it's always going to be light to light, dark to dark. Now, something I want to do. All right, something I like to do, it's not absolutely necessary because these do fit well, is just for my own peace of mind, or you can get servo protectors, connections, but I'm not going to be taking this on and off. I'll take a piece of tape on there, and all I'm doing is just making sure that those two pieces don't come back undone. Now, this side here is what's going to be facing you right now. Fish all that in there. There's a hole there where this servo's going to line it up. Okay. I'm going to go in at an angle. See how this is going to fit together here? FBI calls that a clue. Okay. Make sure everything's fishing in there right. Okay. And you should hear it click. There you go. Hear that click? Now if you ever want to remove that, press on that button. Okay. Slide it back out. Listen for the click. Okay. Now we'll come over here to the other side. Okay. And we're going to, I know I keep saying okay, okay. Yeah, okay. That's just a habit, figure of speech habit. Like saying you know all the time. Here again, different servo, okay? But the light, okay, the light wire is always going to hook up. So light to light, dark to dark, always. No matter what the servo make or model, it's always going to be light to light, dark to dark. Luckily, these are easily removed. If you happen to get it wrong and didn't do it right, well then, you know, very simple for you to pop this in and pop this out. Okay, fish that. So I can see this better this time. Fish your wing spar in there, and that should just click right in. Maybe. Well, that didn't quite. I want to hear that click sound. Well, that's not, it's in there. Might be a little bit of debris in the way. But it's, as long as these buttons are fluid or are flush with each other, it's not coming off. Okay? All right. Instructions say do the wings next, so we'll do the wings next. All right. Take your fuselage, this entire assembly now, set it off to the side. Okay? So we're going to concentrate on our wings. Our wingy dingies. Okay. Now, for this, you're going to need 2 different size screws. Okay? In your kit, you've got a little baggie with 2 longer screws. You only need 1 at a time. And then 8 smaller screws. They all have Loctite on them. Okay? So you're going to take 1 wing. All right. Set that vertical stabilizer off to the side. And just take 1 wing at a time. This is the area that we're dealing with. Okay? Now, you're going to want to fish this motor connector out of the wing. It's just tucked in there for safety. Okay, you're going to reveal this plug. All right. Now we got to figure out which nacelle goes where. Probably angle of the mounting plate. Okay, so this should fits right in there. So that looks like that's right. Okay, let's see how it would look if I think it's wrong, how that would look. Okay. No, that's right. They're going to lean in. So this is the right one. Okay. All right. You're going to connect make your motor connections first. Let's make sure. You'd have to because, all right. So connect your motors first. Okay. I don't think there's any, yeah, it's keyed. You can't hook it up wrong. Okay. Fish that back down in there. Should be room for that to lay down in there. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay, yeah, just kind of shove it up in that room in the motor there. There's room for it. I like using these extra pieces of foam that I have hanging around the house. Okay, lay that in there like that. get your 4. The one's got the lock. They all got Loctite on them. Let me look at something real quick. Yeah, okay. Okay. This is where you're going to use your 2mm hex drive, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 2mm. Okay. Okay, like that. That. There's a fly in here. That. Okay. Like that. All right, now you're going to turn it over. Okay. And you see that hole right there? This is where you're going to take your one of the 2 of the bag. It's got the longer screws that have Loctite on them. Okay. And these are 2mm also. So you know you got the right one because of the way. See how that is? I'm going to use that wing as a pointer. See how that is angled there? Then you know you got the right nacelle. Okay. All right. Because it wouldn't fit right otherwise. Okay, that is on there. I'll make sure it's good, snug. This is what's going to keep the plane in the air. We don't go over tight because you're a lot stronger than you think. But don't go chinchy either. You start hearing anything cracking, stop. You can kind of feel things like that, you know. If you put enough of these models together, you can just kind of know by feel how that's supposed to be. Grab the other wing carefully. Fish out my power. Okay. Plug in my power. And like I said, it's key. It's got a little key in there. You can't mess it up. Okay. Fish that down in there as far as I can get it. Fish it in there as far as I can get it. Get as much. See how this is angled here? If you didn't have the right one, the angle would be wrong. Okay. Make sure I'm not pinching any wires. Yeah, see? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. What have I said millions of times though? I've said it and I'll say it and I'll keep saying it. A model that fits tightly together is a happy model. That's a well-designed model. When they fit tightly together like that, that is a good thing. Hold on. Something don't feel right. I'm doing this. Yeah, that's in there. All right. Let me get another one going on the other side here. I know I get to building and talking, and I don't pay attention to what you're able to see on the screen, so I do apologize. But you're just hooking up these 4 bolts. And like I say, as long as you got the motor keyed on there right by the fitting flush in the front, you'll have the right one. You'll have the right. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. And like I say, hang on to pieces of foam like this EPP foam. When you get it in packing stuff, it makes the perfect resting point and plane stand. So it's certainly not going to hurt your model. I have a big bag of it. I just hang on to it. Then if I spill glue and stuff on it, well, it's no good then, and depending, and I'll throw it out then. Okay. Remember, don't over tighten them, just kind of like flush, and then about half a turn or so. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, got one long screw on the top. Like I say, you can't, don't be tempted to put that side of the wing down because that's the end of your control surface. That's a good way to get damage. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that's done. Wings are done. So let's set them over here real quick. All right. Now we're going to put the wings on. You're going to need your big spar here. Let's go ahead and back you up just a little bit. Now, see what we're working with here. Okay, take your wing spar. It's that big old hole right there in the middle. Go ahead and, like do a twisting action, push it all the way through. Grab the appropriate wing. In this case, it's this one here. See how those connections are right there? There again, what do I always say? FBI calls that a clue. Okay, just kind of let that right in there. If you got to hold the other side, that's fine. It's going to be kind of tight the first couple of times. All right, it's only going to fit one way. Okay. All right, now. Oh, you know what we did wrong? We put the wrong screws in. I'm thinking to myself, you know, we put these down here in the very first part. I screwed up. I told you wrong on the fuselage. Back up a little bit, folks. On the fuselage, that's not how they go. I was wrong there. Alrighty, I really do apologize. Okay, on the fuselage, when you join the two pieces together, you should have the screws in here, over here on the opposing side, okay, and then that very bottom one back that you put it in this way. This here is for the wing. Drop that little spring in there and put your screw in, drop the spring in here, put the screw in, okay, and we're going to go ahead and complete this other wing like you're supposed to, okay? And you don't get any extras of these big red screws. And I found, instead of dropping a screw in there, it's easier just to take these springs and stick them on the end of the screw. Okay. You get one, it looks like you do get 2 extra. So probably was supposed to have been for something on the fuse, but I didn't use that. So I got these 2 here. Get the appropriate wing wherever it went to. Okay. There again, Gonna line that up. It only goes one way. And it does fit very tight. Very tight. Okay. Now let me reconfigure my impromptu plane stand here. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to put it in that rear position. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. It's going to go right down here. Oh. Get my 2.5. I just found it easier just to start screwing it in there and it'll fall into place. See it drop down in there? And it'll start lining itself up. Make sure it's down there all the way. All right. That wing doesn't want to pull out of there. Okay, I'm going to take the other one and it's going to go right up here. Got the spring on there. And they say, according to what I've seen so far, they do take a little while. It's real stiff the first couple of times. But that's okay too. Make sure that wing's lined up right. Might have to put your body on one end to get it to line up right. But you'll be able to feel it when it gets bite. All right, it's got bite now. So either what you're looking for is for it to drop down in that shaft. There, they're just popped into place. Hear that? Hear those springs? All right, now give it the old heave ho. Try to pull your wings out. You can't pull them out. While you're here, go ahead and grab a shark tooth. Put it there. Grab another shark tooth. Put it there. They should just snap right in. Hold on. Oh, looks like they have certain ones go in certain spots. That one goes there. That one goes there, so this one has to go up here, up front here. Okay. All right, that pops in like that. All right, let's back you up a little bit. Turn our attention. Now, I want to show you something real quick. Okay. That wing is not coming off. Okay. That wing is not coming off. So I'm not worried about it. Okay. All right. Let's get our attention on the tail. On the rudder. Got to get around the man cave here. So far, I'm not seeing where we're going to be using our 1.5. All right. Now, see that right there? See the end of that right there? All right. Another FBI calls out a clue. All right. You're going to take your wing spar. The last spar you've got left is going to fit in that hole right there. Okay, and there's that key. You should hear a snap. It's going to go in at an angle. Should line up. A little channel right there where it lines up at. Okay, I'm going to get on this side of it. And I should hear an audible snap. There you go. All right. Now, let's turn our attention now. That's on there. To the last three and the most complicated parts of this assembly. I mean, these are horrible right here. Number one, put on your shark fin, line it up, slide it back into place. Okay, and this is the part that makes it bad, is because you gotta move the model around. Okay, I'm gonna hide. This just keys in, like a lot of these type things do. And you can't get it wrong. Slide in the front, feel it pop into place. Sorry I keep passing in front of you, but all right. And then slide your top on. Make sure that keys into place. And folks, there you go. You now have an Airbus 320. Hold on just a moment. Get you a little more situated, right? Well, folks, there you go. That is the Airbus 320. The other thing I got left to do is it comes with some stickers that go on the outside in the cells, and I'm going to put those on. But other than that, that's the only thing I got left to do, other than, of course, buying it up in my radio. And I will be using the setup file, but I may modify it to my likings. This is the bind and fly version, but I'll cover all that after the maiden, which, you know, depending on my health and weather and everything, hopefully it'll be soon. But there you go, folks. Thank you so much for watching. This is Fat Guy Flies RC, and this is the E-FLITE Airbus 320. Next time you see this on my channel, I'll have her up in the air, and then we'll go over all the rates and everything that I fly in and all that kind of good jazz. All right, well, thank you for watching. God bless y'all. All the information about the plane will be in the description of the video. And thank you. Those of y'all that are praying people, pray my health is getting better. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm almost there. And I've got to get healthy because I got to go back to work in a few days. And I mean, it's like a matter of days. So, but I've got to get back to work because I got to buy more planes. All right, God bless y'all. We'll talk to you later. God is good. It's Neo Airbus 320s. Bye-bye, A320.